Robin from Atlanta, Georgia. Robin, how in the world are you?
Hey, John. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling, Robin.
Yeah, I'm excited about your new show.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for being on it.
Yeah, sure. I have a stepson. Now, I just got married 2 weeks ago, but I was dating his father for 3 years. And he had 2 weeks prior to us getting married, he was admitted to a treatment center for 30 days for opioid addiction. And the rehab center has not contacted, my husband about what to do when he gets out this Sunday and, setting guidelines. He has a history of drug abuse. He has actually stolen pills from me after I had major surgery, and then my husband had major surgery. I actually caught him stealing them, and we confronted him. He denied it, and then he came back and, did say, yes, I did take them. I've had this addiction since he had hand surgery when he was 16.
Sure. So you've got I guess a new son-in-law, for lack of better terms, who's an adult. Yes. I'm assuming.
A stepson who is, he just turned 21. He still lives with his mother.
Okay. And so what's your question for me? How can I help?
My question is, how do we draw boundaries? Because, I would have thought that the rehab center would have contacted the parents and say, okay, this is what he needs to do when he gets out.
No, not for an adult kid. No way.
Really?
No, not for an adult kid.
Okay.
That's not going to happen. He's a grown man. Okay. And as far as the courts are concerned, as far as his therapists are concerned, or his rehab folks, they would never call a brand new stepmom ever. And so
not me, yeah, his father or his mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not my deal at all, but, I care for him, and I just want, I keep telling my husband, hey, y'all need to come up with some boundaries, like requirements. If he's, he's on his dad's insurance plan, he's on his dad's car insurance, which he is pulling him off of that because he was probably driving while, under the influence of drugs. And that could affect, my husband, and his liability as far as, it being in his name. But as far as boundaries, like, hey, you need to, go to outpatient, counseling. You need to have drug tests every week or, however. And I just need to know how to, help my husband decide what kind of boundaries to set, or do we just act like it's normal that he's been in treatment for 30 days?
No, in fact, you nailed it. When he gets out, you have a welcome home, like a welcome out celebration. You take him out to breakfast or to lunch, and you tell him that he's loved, and you're excited that he's back. And then you tell him that you're rooting for him and you're cheering for him. And then you set a date for a couple of days later, 2 days, 3 days later, and you say, we're going to have a boundaries conversation because you're out, and we want to be a part of your life moving forward, and a part of being a part of our life moving forward is you're going to have to get your own car insurance. You're going to have your own place to live. You're going to have to pay your way. If you steal from us, we're going to call the police. It's just like you laid it out. What it sounds like is your husband's nervous about making those boundaries, about drawing those lines, about really wrapping things up. And that can be from guilt. That can be from, goodness, who knows, man? It can be from frustration. It can be from annoyance at his first wife. Who knows where the challenges of drawing boundaries. At the end of the day, just what you just said, take him out and draw the boundaries. That means that you and your husband, your new husband, are going to have to also go have your own conversation about what those boundaries are going to be. What are they going to look like? What are they going to sound like? Are we going to hold him to it? And are we going to hold him accountable if he violates those boundaries? What happens when you come home and he's in your living room after you told him he's got to call you? What happens when he, quote unquote, borrows some money? Or what happens when he comes home and he is all in on getting well, totally invested, kicking butt, working hard? Are you going to be able to forgive him? Are you going to be able to love him? Are you going to be able to let him go to his mom's house where you don't like the way things are handled over there and come back to your house? You and your husband are going to have to deal with your hearts on this deal and really come up with some clear boundaries for you guys before you start putting boundaries on somebody else.